There's so much like good stuff coming out in the next like month or so.
Show-wise?
Show-wise, movie-wise.
Movie-wise, I'm so horned up. Are we going to Beetlejuice on opening night?
I think we should.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
Like every time as a Stubs member, as you know, an A-lister at AMC, if you don't know out there, you basically pay a monthly fee and you can go to 3 movies a week. And I have been taking advantage of it. And every time I see that trailer, I am just...
Yeah, I think we should.
It's just like the contact high. So yeah, we're going to do it. I'm excited. Do you know what I saw yesterday?
What?
With me and Logan, we got all crazy and we went to a matinee.
Ooh.
We saw Blink Twice. Zoe Kravitz movie.
Oh.
I cannot believe
was it good?
How good it was.
I want to see that.
I would probably... I'm a Stubs member, so I can go again. So I would literally go again. It was so good. I don't know if that was... I think it was her directorial debut.
I think so, yeah.
The bloody satisfaction of the whole thing. Great casting. Great twists. Like, highly recommend.
Was it what you thought it was going to be, or did it like have a twist and it was something different?
Absolutely not what I thought it was going to be. I will say there's a huge trigger warning at the beginning of the movie, which I've never seen that before, a movie that said like, prepare yourself. And so I'm glad that was on there and I knew it was coming because there was a scene I literally could not watch, but it was important to the movie. So I understand why they did it. But no, it wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be. And it was just like freaky fun. And Beyonce approved a song in it and it's from Renaissance and it's like the perfect moment for like the most bad bitch thing you've ever seen. So I get all excited when you see a movie like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so many good movies coming out though.
I'm excited.
Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dana Cathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
I'm excited for the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Okay.
Really can't wait for that.
so you sent me the trailer last night. That's going to be on, is it a documentary or is it a show?
It's like a docuseries.
Okay.
Because of all of the mom talk drama scandal that unfolded, like I think it was last year.
Can you give us a refresher, please?
I mean, I haven't refreshed my memory, but there was, Mom Talk was basically a group of like friends who were all like these like Mormon wives who like would do like dances and put their like little like lives out there that were like seemingly perfect and they look perfect and they're like young moms and all living in like Utah basically. And all of a sudden everyone noticed that they like weren't posting together and everyone was wanting to know what happened. And then some of them started, speaking out about the fact that there was like a fracture in the group because they were basically like soft swinging, and which is basically meaning that they were like, hooking up when they were all hanging out together. Like some of the wives are like making out with the other one's husband, but it was like all okay until they were doing it not around each other. Like they were having like affairs. So it became like very scandalous.
What is soft swinging?
Where you're not like having sex, but you're like maybe kissing.
Okay, I'm obviously gonna watch because I was following that at the time, and we are definitely gonna be chatting about it. But that's so like middle school to me. I'm just so jaded being in LA, but I'm like,
yeah. But then one of them like went real rogue, and I think her name was Taylor, and she like her and her husband got divorced, and she because Mormons they're it's an interesting thing because they live a very kind of virtuous life, you would think, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on that you don't know about in terms of like addiction, porn addiction, pill addiction, and then
okay,
that's like no one talks about.
Have you seen those like Interview on the Street, but it's at BYU?
Oh yeah,
the Mormon school, and they're like, would you rather kill a basket of puppies or take a sip of alcohol or drink a sip of coffee or whatever? Coffee. And they're like, puppies, gotta go. I don't understand it, but whatever. It's your beliefs.
Would you rather go to war or drink coffee? They're like, I'd definitely go to war. It's like,
I'm like,
wild stuff.
Why I ask that is because they have something, and I can't remember what the term is right now. It's like squeegeeing or like soaking. Okay, what? I feel like I've looked it up before. What is it? It sounds like dry humping to me.
No, it's where they
wet humping.
It's where they will put their dick in you, but they won't thrust. They'll just stick it in and leave it. So it's like they're not like performing sex because they're not like thrusting.
That's a dangerous game, and I've never won.
And then they have a friend shake the bed so that there's movement, not instigated by the...
You're lying to me.
Nope.
Yeah.
They put it, there's penetration?
There's penetration and then another person in the room shaking the bed.
Another person in the room?
Like they get a friend to shake the bed so there's like, some friction.
Okay,
But they're not doing it.
I mean,
Technically.
we're both experienced ladies. Have you ever tried to play Just the Tip? It's an impossible game. It's a losing game. You can't. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's not a thing. I can't imagine having someone inside me and then just being like, let's just stay here.
Let's just hang out right here.
And also, do you think that they're like this about like they're like, as long as it's not vaginal penetration?
I feel like it, yeah.
I feel like there's some of them doing I'm like, yes, that's a much harder mountain to climb.
I know. Imagine being so like well versed in the back door, but
It's
like
the difference between doing Runyon and Everest. I'm like, what are you doing?
totally. But for real.
Okay, that's so interesting.
But now we're gonna get like the full story. We're gonna hear
Right.
it all, and I cannot wait because it's so juicy. I'm like very intrigued by the inner workings and like these lives that they live.
Okay, I'm so glad you just illuminated me, by the way. I mean, I am too. It's super interesting, but the whole, so what Reddit did I go down? Because I thought it was dry humping. That is so insane to me. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
Should we let us know if you guys want us to recap it on here, because I'm probably gonna have a lot of thoughts.
I feel traumatized by the affair because some of you hated it, but some of you liked it. But I think that would be an easier thing to recap, and we could just keep it short and just like talk about our thoughts on it.
I mean, if y'all are gonna watch it and you want us to discuss here, we could totally do that.
When does it come out?
I think on September
Next month, safe to say.
the 6th, the next week or this week.
That's the same as Beetlegeist. So I am so also. Should we do daddy list real quick? Because I know this is on my. I actually have more daddy than basement today, I think.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so one of which is Winona Ryder.
Oh,
She's looking so. What the is in the water? They're like, there's a potion in Hollywood and it's golden and you sell your soul. And I'm like, souls are boring. I'm like, as what's his name said on Succession, I'm like, I'll take it. Give it to me. But no one's offered it. So I wish they would. But she looks incredible. Her and ex-Dina, obviously. You guys, we know that that's not nature and it's fine. It's amazing. Just please tell us.
Let us know what it is.
It's basement to gatekeep who your doctor is and what your surgeries are. But yeah, Winona Ryder looks so good and she's such an icon. She's just such a like real 90s moment that will forever be in our hearts. And that one time she like freaked out on stage and was like at the Golden Globes. Like, what a memorable thing.
I love her. She's definitely like a inspo of mine, if you can't tell.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, before I complete my daddy list, your buns are evolving and they're looking great today. You put the clips in.
I had 2 buns and raised 2 buns.
You did.
Yeah.
You raised it. It looks great. I love it. Ludacris.
Oh, drinking the glacier water.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about the glacier water portion of that because someone was like, there's like billions of years of history and bacteria in there. I was like, I don't know if that's safe or if it was, but whatever. No, but he said it was on his bucket list to drink this water. And he said, or as I call it, the it list. And as someone that's me, how have I never in my life thought to call it the it list? I'm like, so the it list is on the daddy list.
Yeah, I like it because it's like, your bucket list is supposed to do like be all the things that you're gonna do before you die, meaning like you're on your last leg. But like, why not have a it list of just things that you want to start doing now? Because it.
Exactly. I'm like,
I love that like Ludacris is just doing side quests. He's just like, what else can I do?
We need
drink glacier water. Great. Here we go.
And then last for me today is, and correct me if I'm wrong because I might be saying his name wrong, Jack Schlossberg.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, he was on my list too.
Is he?
Yes.
God, we're one brain. Okay, so he is a descendant of a Kennedy. Is he the grandson of
He's grandson
JFK?
of JFK, yeah.
Okay. He's so like, I almost slid into his DMs, but I don't know if he has a girlfriend. He also
He's
lives
a
in
bit
New York.
elusive. I know. Trust me, I've been following him for a while and I'm like, temptation's
Okay,
there.
so he was talking about how much he loves mayo, and I also love mayo. And he's like, he puts it on pizza, which is taking it a step further. But I was like, you love mayo, and it seems like we align with some of our values. And he's just always like doing funny things on that board thing, and like he's very active, and he just has that face that I could just get all up in. But also, I just think he's a cool, interesting person that seems to be leaning in. He's obviously the descendant of American royalty, so I'm sure he would be a nepo baby considered. But he seems really cool.
Is he cursed though?
I mean, but so
he's
am
a
I, so
Kennedy.
maybe our curses will undo each other's. We just
He's
don't
a
know.
Kennedy.
We just don't know. So those are mine. Who's on yours?
I love a quirky man who also is like very smart and also has a trust fund.
BFD. We love a trust fund. I love a trust fund.
Okay. Okay. Well, in addition to all of those things, I mean, I don't know how this man could not be on a daddy list. I have a person, not a thing or like a activity. But Colin Farrell is like so beyond daddy. Okay, so recently he like spoke out and did this whole thing about his son who has like a rare like I don't know what it's called.
I think it was a degenerative disorder of some kind.
I don't know what
or congenital. I'm not totally sure.
I don't know what it is, but it was just so amazing the way he spoke about him, and he just is like loves him so much, and just is like I don't know. I just love.
Did you ever see SWAT?
No.
It's a bad movie, but he's in it. It's about a SWAT team, and it's like basically this drug lord they're putting away for life, and he in front of the media is like, whoever breaks me out, I'll give you $100 million. So he's in the SWAT team with Michelle Rodriguez, because when is she not in a SWAT team or racing a car around?
She's daddy list. She's so daddy.
Daddy list. Yeah, I just love her in a dirty tank top. Anyway, so he's like on the SWAT team, and I think I saw that when it came out. So it must have been the early aughts. So I was like, it was my formative years, and I just remember feeling things honestly about both of them. So the whole movie was just confusing for me, but so hot.
He's so hot. I saw him one time at Vodaspa, like in the flesh, and he is like breathtakingly handsome. Like he's so good looking. It was hard not to stare. I've seen some pretty like freaky people at Vodaspa. I saw Beeps there once. Today I saw I was on like Reddit just kind of scrolling through shit because
I'm so scared of Reddit. You love Reddit.
Well, Reddit, there's all kinds of weird ass shit you can see. There'll be like random news stuff, random stories. Am I the asshole? Like I love all like I don't. Here's the thing.
Reddit's on your daddy
I don't
list.
I don't have like an account. Like I'm not like a poster. I don't like participate like in that way. Like I don't know. Like, but you can go on Reddit and look at stuff. So someone had posted him leaving a yoga class, and he was wearing like plaid flannel like pajama bottoms with like no shirt on, and they were hanging low, and he had like a headband on his head, and he just looked kind of just like messy but hot.
Oh
and,
no,
like,
he looked sweaty.
I was like, damn.
Katie just came unglued. She saw the sweat. She saw the perspiration.
Sweats, daddy.
So real quick, Vodaspa is also on my daddy list. So Vodaspa is a banya spa in LA. So
it's a Russian spa.
I'd say a Russian banya spa. I would say all of them are on my daddy list. I don't live there anymore, so I can say this, but it used to be across the street from my place. And shout out North Stanley. And it's just so delightful. And you know the real old school people when they're wearing those little caps and they're beating the shit out of each other with those leaves.
Like some kind of leaf.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's daddy.
And they have like really great food at a bar, so you can get like kind of fucked up and get massages.
You want some borscht and some vodka and someone to rub you down. And I was like, that's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah, vodka, borscht, and get a rub.
You have to do the borscht and vodka after you go in the different saunas though, because you can't let that cook. Do you have anything else?
Can't let that cook. Sorry.
Actually, okay, so banya spas, Courtney, when I was in Portland, took me to like a version of that. And I saw this online and it kind of ruined it for me because they had the really hot, the lukewarm, the cold plunge, and then the sauna and the steam room, and you do it in a rotation that it tells you to do.
Mm-hmm.
The hot one had a lot of foam layer, and I have read, and if you're in a hot tub, if there's any of that, it's the oils from people's skin and nastiness.
Well, you're supposed to shower before you do those things.
Right, but you leaves other people to their own devices. I don't trust other people.
People never want to follow the rules.
Men.
I mean, like, there's people, like, there's certain spas you go to, they're, like, very anal about it. Like, you cannot actually, like, enter the spa unless you've showered. Like, there's like, an attendant there. But, like, the exit to the spa is, like, out of a shower. So, like, you have to go into a shower to go into the spa.
That's how it should be.
It should be like that, 100%.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else on your daddy?
No.
Colin? Okay.
Well, I mean,
he's a good one. A strong one.
Yeah, Jack was on there too, but it's fine.
Okay, or mutual.
Yeah. You know, one of my absolute favorite things about summer is the grilling. Not that I'm doing it, but
You're receiving.
I like the eating of the grilling.
You like the receiving.
And nothing beats a good barbecue, of course. BBQ.
I know what's coming.
Whether it's burgers or hot dogs, or sliders, there's something really special about enjoying these classic outdoors. And let's be real, what really makes those meals complete are the buns and the bread. I mean, what's a glizzy without a fluffy, delicious bun, right?
Sidebar, you've become like hot dogs PR. And we love to see it.
You know?
We love to see it. So you would know a thing or two about the buns.
Yeah.
And just because we're all trying to be a bit more mindful about what we eat, especially during the summer, doesn't mean we have to give up those carb-heavy favorite foods. That's where Hero Bread comes in. They've completely reinvented bread and buns to give us all that flavor and like that texture, but with no net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and fewer calories. Plus, they're packed with protein and fiber, so you can enjoy every bite guilt-free.
And do not forget about their Hawaiian rolls.
I could never.
I know.
I
These
think
things,
about them all the time.
because they literally just melt in your mouth. They're so good, and they're perfect for making summer sliders. I've been using Hero Bread for a while now, and I am totally hooked. The taste is amazing. Seriously, you wouldn't even know that they're healthier because they're that good. The texture is soft and fluffy and just like traditional bread, but without any of the compromise.
I've been using the brioche buns for my burgers, and they're just like it. They're perfect, they're light, they're airy, and the right amount of sweetness. And I'm very picky about my buns. Wink, wink. And also with Hero Bread's healthier option, it fits right into my summer health goals. I love that I can have all my favorite foods without worrying about carbs and sugar. It's like the best of both worlds, I would say.
Yeah, whether it's packing a picnic, grilling for a family cookout, or even making a breakfast sandwich on the weekend, Hero Bread has become a staple for me. Their products have 0 to 1 gram net carbs per serving, no sugar, and they're high in fiber. It's all your favorites with none of the compromises.
So if you're like us and you're ready to keep the carbs out of summer without losing any of that delicious flavor, check out Hero Bread. You can get 10% off your order at hero.co by using code disrespectfully at checkout. That's disrespectfully at HERO.co. I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. Picture this. Everyone, it's a chilly fall evening. The air outside is crisp. You're wrapped up on the bed with your favorite show on, a warm drink in hand. Your feet are rubbing together in your cozy little socks like a little cricket. Couldn't get any better, right? That was until I transformed my bed with Boll and Branch sheets. Seriously, these sheets are a game changer for cozy fall nights. And honestly, all nights. I just redid my bed last night after fresh out of laundry. Ugh, we just daddy list. Boll and Branch's bedding is made from the finest 100% organic cotton. Their signature sheets are like a buttery heaven, so breathable. They just keep getting softer and softer with every rock. By this point, I'm like, I can't believe it's not butter when I get in bed.
And the best part, you can layer them up with their bed blankets, duvets, and quilts without feeling like you're buried underneath a mountain of fabric. I've been loving my Boll and Branch bed setup. It's cozy, but like never too hot.
You know, when a friend asks for sheet recommendations, I always tell them about Boll and Branch. The quality is unmatched. You can literally feel it from your first night.
Exactly. And they aren't just soft. They get even softer after each wash. It's like your bed is inviting you to a better night's sleep every time you lay down.
Totally. I love when my bed invites me places. My old sheets didn't stand a chance against these sheets. I chose the classic white because I like to feel like I'm in an asylum, and they look so fresh and clean, but it's the feel that really sold me.
I even added one of their waffle blankets, perfect for fall. It's like the cherry on top of my Boll and Branch bed.
If you haven't tried Boll and Branch yet, what are you waiting for? You're missing out. Millions of sleepers swear by them, and now I see why. Plus, they offer free design consultations to help you create your dream bed.
And if you're still on the fence, Boll and Branch gives you a 30-night worry-free guarantee with free shipping and returns on all U.S. orders over $100. So there's no reason not to try.
None. Start getting your best sleep this fall with Boll and Branch. Enjoy 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with promo code disrespectfully.
That's Boll and Branch, BOLLANDBRANCH.com, promo code disrespectfully for 15% off and free shipping. Exclusions apply. Be sure to check out the details on their site.
Your coziest fall nights are just a click away with Boll and Branch. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by meal planning or life in general, I mean, I've never been overwhelmed as a person, but
yeah,
grocery shopping and cooking, I get it. You get it especially. That's why we're so excited to share our experience with Hungry Root.
For me, managing all the meal prep used to be a huge hassle. With a busy schedule, it felt like I was constantly trying to juggle grocery runs, yuck, cooking, yuck, and figuring out what to make. But Hungry Root has been such a game changer.
When my first Hungry Root delivery arrived, I was pretty impressed. The process was so smooth. Everything came prepared. It was ready to go. The recipes were super simple and the ingredients were high quality. I was like, am I Do I have a monocle on? Do I have a bow tie? It's so classy. I loved it, and it was so easy to whip up a healthy meal without the stress.
Totally agree. The food was not only easy to make, but also really delicious. It's so nice to have options that everyone likes and that fits into a busy lifestyle.
Compared to other methods of healthy eating, like takeout or meal delivery service, Hungry Root stands out. With takeout, I used to spend a lot of money, and not to mention, I still felt like I wasn't getting great nutrition. I'm never picking the healthy thing when I'm ordering takeout. I'm picking the most disgusting thing possible and then crying about it. And meal delivery services didn't always fit my dietary needs because we know I've got some stuff. But with Hungry Root, I'm getting fresh, high quality groceries and meals that align with my health goals.
Plus, Hungry Root helps me stick to specific dietary needs, whether it's gluten-free, vegan, or just looking for balanced meals. Their personalized approach makes it so much easier, and I'm definitely wasting less food now because Lord knows that was a big issue.
Hungry Root really simplifies everything. They send fresh groceries and easy recipes right to your door. It's like having a personal meal planner that does all the hard work for you.
And right now, they're offering an amazing deal for our listeners. You can get 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life.
Veggies for life is so crazy. To grab this offer, just go to hungryroot.com/disrespectfully. That's 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life when you use our link.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's hungryroot.com/disrespectfully. Don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you.
Okay, really quickly, want to introduce something called Circle Back.
Right.
Where if we make a mistake or there's follow-up information from a previous episode, we just want to touch on it really briefly. Then we get into the meat and potatoes. One thing a lot of people wrote in, by the way, loved all the DMs about Scott Peterson. All of you unanimously were like, that man is guilty. He is.
Yeah.
I have since... I don't know if I said this in the last one, but I watched the Netflix one in addition to the Hulu one. He is so guilty and a true sociopath. The correction I need to make is I said it was the Innocence Project, which is really reputable, which is why I was very confused as to if they were taking his case on, it meant something to me. There's another organization called the LA Innocence Project, and that is who has taken his case on. And they purposefully kind of latched on to that name. I can't speak to how reputable they were, but apparently there's some shady issues going on, and they used, in the name Innocence Project to automatically have that reputation.
Oh, yuck.
And it's just not the business. So I'm sorry for that very confusing thing, but I'll always admit when I'm wrong. So there was that. And then someone said something really sweet that I loved, and I don't know how to do this, but when we were talking on a Heauxmetown Hero episode about how to make friends as an adult, someone was like, we should start a Facebook group. I don't have Facebook, so I don't know how this works, of sorts, or just basically a community for our amazing coven and listeners.
Yeah.
So you all can connect. So I don't know how to do that.
If
but
somebody's a little more active on the Facebook and wants to do that, by all means. I mean, yeah, I don't participate on Facebook
or
either.
Reddit. I don't know, but let's all connect.
Yeah.
We're all very cool.
And then you can share with us what it is, and then we can share with everyone else.
Yes. So you guys do the work and let us know.
We're happy to pass it along.
I mean, that's all I have to circle
Okay.
back on. Did you have anything else? I just want to make sure I made that correction.
No, was there anything else?
The other things are silly, like silly goose shit. Like, I unfortunately watched a TikTok that I sent to you guys that I regretted watching. Do you do that?
Do what?
If I regret something that traumatizes me, I need to share the wealth. I need to traumatize others. I have to send it. I have to have.
I saw this, so now you need to see this. Like punishment for all.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
I can't carry that burden alone. I have to have someone else watch it. So mostly I can obsess about it.
What did you? I didn't watch it.
It was the.
I was driving.
It was the astronauts. What is happening to their bodies long term in space?
Yeah, no, that was. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Like, their hearts are shrinking.
Their eyes are flattening.
Their eyes are flattening. That's when it lost me. I was like, and exit.
End scene. It's like in Jessica Rabbit when the mean guy with the green goo, his eyes come out. It reminds me of that. Someone was just saying what happens where obviously I think they said 1 day in space is equivalent to 1 year's worth of radiation on Earth. And that's why these trips are supposed to be shorter, not almost a year. And Boeing has 100% confirmed now, or NASA, that they will be staying until 2025. I wish I could understand what the reasoning was behind that. Again, they're rocket scientists, so I'm sure they know, but I hope they do come home. They have to work out for 2 hours a day in space, which is a punishment in and of itself, but it's so their muscles don't atrophy. It's not just because they're on a new zone diet and they like are vain, it's because they are trying not to atrophy.
Yeah.
Not daddy.
I'm worried about their bones, their heart, their eyes, their like. What did they say about their blood? That like decrease in blood, like
And
volume or something.
You need your blood. You need the volume.
They're gonna come back like
Goo.
Again, and then in Jessica
Just
Rabbit,
puddles.
they run over him with the thing, and it's I'm just like,
I know. I'm a little concerned.
and we're truly trying to talk about this in a delicate way. I hope they come back and they're better than ever, and we can all have a good laugh about the whole thing. But
Yeah, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but like my word,
fuck,
I hope they have a tonal up there.
I do too. Do you think they have a megaformer?
No,
Like what kind of work? I mean, I just saw.
I don't know
someone
what
turn on,
kind. What kind of workouts are they doing?
I don't know, but I mean, they're having to move their bodies, but it never left me. Again, there's so many things that I accidentally expose myself to that I wish I didn't know or see because that's how my OCD manifests. And
That's how I felt about when I started getting on the North Sea TikTok. I was like, the fuck,
yo ho, and I'm out. Yo
Yo.
no,
Yo
no.
Yo ho.
I don't know. It was something else awful. Actually, do you know what I did yesterday?
No.
I have to traumatize you with this as well.
Great.
Okay, so my nails, I usually have just my natural nails, except for when I did the kooky ones. And so these are still Gel
I'm
X.
so traumatized
from
with the kooky nails.
Traumatized, never again. And this one has been talking like an old shoe, like it's almost half
Yeah.
off, and I'm trying to keep it. So I went and bought nail glue I'm trying to keep it on until my appointment. And I realized Laszlo had some eye drops on the counter and the bottles look similar. And I was fucking convinced, she hasn't needed them in a long time, but I was convinced that I was going to accidentally forget and put the glue in her eye. So do you know what I did? I threw both bottles away, had to look at it no less than 20 times in the trash to make sure they were both in the trash. And then I took out my trash. Not very green of me. It wasn't very full because I needed them out of my place. That is how, that's an OCD tick for me, is like, I'm so scared to do something horrible. And then I just kept picturing it over and over. And I'm like,
no, I do that too. So what is it called? That's got to be called something where you just picture you doing some like heinous act that you would never do.
that for me, that's OCD for me. And then I like replay it and I get stuck on a loop and I have to try.
No, it's called
alien arm.
No,
I know what you're trying to say, but I can't.
Intrusive thought.
Intrusive.
There
So
we go.
intrusive thoughts are a symptom of OCD for me, and mine are really crazy and really bad. But I'm like, I would never. But I was just like, it's
well,
still
obviously you
haunting.
would never, and especially not on purpose. But like,
Ugh.
I'm sorry about that. So your nail is not glued on.
No, I did a nice gluing before, but I have to go find one that doesn't look like eye drops. And then also 2 nights ago, I fucking dropped my hair vitamin on the ground. She's a cat. Why would a cat want a giant? It's big. She grabbed it so fast and ran under the bed. I had to catch her by her tail. I heard her crack it in half. She ate half of it. And then, mind you, I was naked because I was getting in bed. The lights were off. I had to use the flashlight on my phone, flip it up, grab her with one hand, and I could see the rest of it in the back of her mouth. And she's like, "Rrr." I had fished it out. And then I had to call poison control because she ate half of it. And I didn't know if it would,
Maybe it's just gonna make her hair grow.
I mean, you know what? She's been struggling with her.
I know
fur, so you're right.
she's a little patchy.
I come home tomorrow and she's
She's just a poof ball.
looks like a Himalayan.
That's what I'm saying. It could be worse.
Yeah, well, just FYI, if you're out there and you drop a hair vitamin, your cat eats it. As long like 80 milligrams of iron is what the problem is, and there's like 10 in one, and she ate half, so I assume 5. So she was fine.
Okay.
No upset tummy, no hair growth yet. We'll see.
You might have just discovered something though.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists.
Cover her with what's the
Rogaine?
I just cover her with the Rogaine foam.
Laszlo.
No, I'm not going to do that to her. Anyway, so that's my trauma today. What else is going on? Should we talk about the he said, she said?
We should. Fucking awesome.
The Limp Bizkit of it all?
Let's talk about the Bizkit.
I was concerned you were going to wear your shirt.
I almost did.
Would you have worn the color one or the black and white one?
I didn't get the color one.
Oh.
I got the one that just has the little cross.
It says loser.
And then I got that one. But I know I was this close, but I was just like, no t-shirt today.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. All right, so we went to Limp Bizkit last weekend and
We
it
went
was full of whimsy and surprises, I would say.
Oh, yes, it was.
But also an iconic show.
It was so good. So neither of us had seen Limp Bizkit before. So this was a first time for us. And It was so good. Like, I don't know. I mean, like,
I mean, it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. And it was also the way we got to experience it. So Wes Borland is the guitarist for them and our buddy. And so we got to hang out with him before the show. And then we got to watch, what does he call it? Guitar
World.
He has a little area on the back of the stage called Guitar World. And it, you know, friends and family and whatever. And so we got to be on the stage and watch the show from that perspective.
Which I was like concerned because if you've ever watched a show from side stage like that, like you don't get to hear it very well. Like you hear a lot of drum. That's it. And like you can maybe hear the song a little bit. So I was like, man, I don't know. Like, we're gonna be able to hear it very well. No, the sound is great. They had like sound on stage, which was amazing. It was like, it was perfect. And like you could see the whole stage perfectly. Like they really had it set up fantastic. Like,
no, it's almost like they've been doing this for 30 years.
Oh, what do you know about that?
That was iconic. I will say there was an excellent mosh pit and me and Fleur wanted to get in it so bad, but only a few people, like we had passes to be back there, but only Allie had a lanyard and someone else. And someone with a lanyard would have to escort you out to mosh and crowd surf and then bring you back. And we were like so jazzed. Like I felt like a puppy wanting to go outside so bad, but so I was unable to. But they were, if you were there and you were part of that pit, it was excellent. Appreciated the moxie. When break stuff came on, I was just like coming unglued.
I know the set list was like perfection because it was enough of like the hits, some deep cuts, some new stuff. So, you know, if you were like a fan or a new fan, you were able to enjoy it, I think.
How do you feel about when you go see a band that you've known for years and you love and they just won't really play the hits? Like they don't do a lot of like, do you understand it or do you wish that they would? Like what's your perspective on that?
I think when you're like a legacy band, like you've been around for years like that, like you have to play your biggest songs. So you do. It's like, especially for people that are like new to you that have probably like, maybe it's because they've heard your more recent album, but they've probably heard like your biggest songs you've ever had as well. Like I think you have to at least, you know, so granted, they're not going to be able to play every biggest song they've ever had. You know,
unless you're Beyonce and she has a 3-hour concert, does a snippet of everything.
But I mean, also
yes.
like, also I have thoughts about those marathon shows as well.
Which we can, I mean, let's discuss my thoughts on the whole, if they have a huge discography. I understand it, why, if they're putting out new music, they don't want to focus on that. But goddamn, is there any drug on planet Earth quite like Taco Bell when you're drunk or listening to old songs live that you know well, that you love? Like it's just, it's so fun at a show. So I petition for them to, like, we get it. You're relevant still, you're making new music, but I want the hits. Take me back to a more simple time when I was much happier. Take me back to 2002.
Simpler times was great.
Simpler times.
But yeah, no, I mean, they sound, I mean, again, I didn't see them for them. Like they sound just as great.
Well, and you know, yeah, you can just tell, like, and just the whole like way that they did it, the way they interacted with the audience. Fun fact about Wes is, and we're going to have Wes on the podcast at some point after he heals from this tour. I didn't think he always has the cool outfits. If you don't like the crazy shit.
He makes them all himself.
He whittles them. And I didn't know that.
He has done like he went to, like, that was like what he wanted to do. He wanted to, I mean, well, I won't tell the story. He can tell the story, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get more into it. But that was crazy to me. And I loved this one with the like crucifix beaded beard was so cool.
Yeah. So it's like, no, he's very talented.
Yeah.
True artiste. But yeah, it was awesome. And like Fred Durst's daddy too. He's like a sexy Santa Claus.
He's like a slutty little Santa. Look, Wes, don't tell him we said that. But he, first of all, yeah, he just fucking forever daddy. But yeah, we first got there, and I don't really get geeked a lot because we live in LA, and it's not that I'm above it, but you see really famous people in the wild all the time. But yeah, there was just this like moment we walked in and saw him, and I like tensed up, and then he walked by us after the show when he was on his way out when we were waiting for Wes, and during the show he walked up. Oh my God, we have to talk about Corey Feldman. He walked up, we can't forget that. He walked up and me and Katie both looked at each other, and because he like kind of came to say hi like in the middle of the show, and we were knocked off our equilibrium, I will say.
Yeah, and then when he was leaving and like had those blue eyes, man.
I mean.
Okay, chill.
I know. Should we talk about
having the best time, period, best fucking night, best show, except for one problem.
And I really don't want to talk about this too long.
No, but you know what?
It's
gonna have to bring it up.
It's
because
worth
it
mentioning.
Fucking happened.
So we get out on the stage before the show starts, and I look over at Katie, and she has bug eyes. And what do you say to me?
What did I say?
Well, you can paraphrase.
I don't remember what I said.
You go, Sandoval's here.
Oh yeah. I look to my left, and it's like there's not a ton of people, but there's enough people. But you know, it's still a pretty like intimate sort of gathering of folks. And I look over, and Tom Sandoval's in cosplay as Fred Durst. He's got a red hat on.
Do you think that was intentional? I really don't. Like
normally, he's wearing a like black Tom hat, like a red hat.
Yeah, and he
picked the red hat for that evening. I don't know.
So when she said that, I looked out in the crowd because I wouldn't assume, like I didn't know who he knew. I didn't assume that
anyone out there.
I didn't know. And then she was like, no, on the stage. So then we're just like, obviously there's a tension, and it's just, we obviously go to the other side of the stage also. So he was there with his girlfriend, and we don't know her, but there were very weird moments. Would you like to talk about the wave?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to not look.
Ignore them.
Like, ignore them. Like, where I need to look is out here anyway. I don't need to look over there. But like, so I'm going to keep my attention over here. It's fine. Whatever. But at one point, you know, I'm like looking to my left just at my friends over here. And out of my periph, I see the two of them, and they're just like waving at me. And I'm just like, and I kind of go like this. I'm like,
I saw it on my peripheral too, and I didn't turn over. I was like, did they just wave at you? And you're like,
Look.
But did it feel like, hey, how are you? Or did it feel like, fuck you? Because that's how I read that.
It kind of was a little bit of a fuck you.
The whole thing was just weird. It was like, go away. Like, we don't want to talk to you. We don't want to look at you. You stay on your own side of the thing. It's obviously uncomfortable. Not to mention, we were there as a guest of the band, and I'm not about to make a scene. I'm not about to have a confrontation there. Like, like that. Like,
no, absolutely not.
Not the place to be doing that.
It didn't obviously like ruin anything, but it was just
we had a great time.
Could have done without it.
Could have gone my whole life without it. All I can say about it is it felt like some really hostile energy coming from them. I don't know what the deal was. Whatever, but like, it was weird. The vibes were weird. It felt very like them trying to take up space and be like, we're here, fuck you. And it was just like, we're here to enjoy a show.
Like, I'm not paying attention. I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to like.
No, and mind you, it didn't ruin our time, but yeah, it would be great if it just hadn't happened. So anyway, out of all the people I thought we would be seeing there in that very specific situation.
No, I didn't really think that Tom was like a Limp Bizkit fan, but surprise. But also, Corey Feldman. We did not get there early enough to see Corey Feldman's set, but we did see Corey Feldman, and he was out there like filming. I don't know if he was like live streaming or what, if he was just like filming, but like the way I was trying to dodge being on his like whatever it was that he was filming.
I got a video. Same. I got a video. I'm wondering should we post it when this episode comes out to the Disrespectfully account of Katie turned around blinking, and he's like in front of her.
Oh, at one point, because I'm like sitting down with like Allie and Andrea, who are just like sitting down, and Dana's like kind of behind us. He steps behind me, so he's standing directly behind me and directly next to Dana, and I'm just looking behind you, and he's just standing right there.
And I'm also waiting for the confrontation. Obviously, it kind of seemed like he was in. I don't want to speculate. He was on space. He doesn't know who we are. I don't think he's a big silly goose disrespectfully listener, but so I'm sitting there and I'm fucking laughing out of uncomfortability. I'm not even laughing at him. I'm just like, don't do well in those kinds of situations. And me and Katie are looking at each other, and I'm like, I literally cannot believe this is happening based on the conversation that we had, because you're like, you're not going to see him, whatever. So he is. I don't know if it was a live stream or just a shit ton of videos, but he like then walked out in front of us. He didn't seem to have a lot of spatial awareness in the way that he walked right behind you and stood next to me. We were like shoulder to shoulder, and it was kind of like he was. Well, just as he's probably a nice person, it was just trying to interact with the people around him, but he kept taking like videos and shit, and I was just like,
he was like filming at people, and it's like, sir, like, do you think that maybe people don't want to be filmed? I don't know, like.
Well, I'd say there's a difference between taking a quick video and like someone being a bystander of being in your shot,
than panning to people like this, like. Like, that is something different than someone just being in the background of like whatever you're filming. Like when you're like putting your phone in, like it's, you know,
holding it longer than is necessary.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah, he was a silly goose. Again, very nice person. So
Anyway.
that was our Limp Bizkit experience. It was very fun. We loved it. Like I said, we'll have Wes on because we just know in those 30 years he has stories. But also, like when we do have more guests on, we've always said we want it to just be people that we just want to chat to. So we'll interview him a bit. But also, I just feel like he loves little girl talk, little goss.
He's a gal's gal.
He's a gal's gal, and we want with the occasional male perspective. Like I love that. So I keep making movement with my forehead. I went to Katie's Botox person yesterday. And I feel like I'm back in business. I know it takes a week to settle.
Jealous.
Significantly better pricing. I loved her, way closer to home. So I've been going to the same person for 4 years. And it was time. It was really scary for me, but she did a super good job, I think. And next week, I think I'm gonna look super hot. I think I'm gonna walk in here and be like, who's that teenager? Get out of here. You're not old enough to be doing this podcast. I do think we'd be remiss if we were talking about the astronauts, not talk about the Boeing explosion that just happened.
Oh, God.
Just really quickly. Was it United?
Delta.
Oh, it was Delta. God, they're dropping like flies because I felt really safe with Delta. It was in a hangar and people were working on it. And was it an engine that exploded?
A tire.
Oh, it was a tire. A tire exploded. I mean, Boeing is never going to beat the don't fly with us allegations. Like, what is happening with them as a whole? And I'm from Seattle, so I have Boeing loyalty. So I'm like, it's just hard to defend at this point. Why a tire? Do we know what happened?
Yeah, how does...
Boeing used to be a really good company, and then they merged with McDonnell Douglas. And it's another airline that's just like way crappier. And they just completely miss the mark when it comes to building the planes itself. And they have multiple people that are like, that's going to fall apart. That's going to fall off. Like the people are assembling it from different places and it's all just a mess.
Well, obviously it's Bo and I ain't going, which unfortunately I'm going to Seattle this weekend and taking Boeing. So that is what it is. I feel like you want to talk about nipples. Well, in general, we both want to get our nipples pierced. I formerly had my nipples pierced in like 2017, but they were short-lived because one of them looked like a goddamn pole vaulter going over the thing.
Right.
I was so mad. And one was like perfectly straight across because they were barbells and one was like this. So I ended up taking them out. Very painful piercing.
Yeah.
And they say if you're going to do both, you need to do them at the same time because also staggering the healing and like you won't do the second one if you just don't do it. The first one sucks, but the second one, your body goes into shock because it's so painful. And it's like, obviously women are built to forget pain. So when I think about it right now, I don't totally remember the sensation. I just remember gasping and I've had lots of piercings, but like they say the second time with scar tissue. And I know this from piercing the shit out of my ears. And you can like see all the old like spots. It's so much more painful as you keep going. And so I hear the second time is just,
Spicy.
Why is it spicy? Are we doing it? Are we going to do it? What's happening?
I want to do it.
I want to do it too.
I mean,
What are you thinking? What's stopping us?
I don't know. You keep talking about how painful it is.
Well, because it's not.
I get it. That that is the reality. Pain is what it is. But like,
Here's something we need to keep in mind. And this sounds crass, but it isn't. Once you pierce your nipples, they're also erect 100% of the time. So this was back in my breast.
love a little rock titty.
This was back in my breast prison days.
Love it. I think it's sexy. I don't know.
This is back in the day when I would conform and I still wore a bra, which I 100% do not anymore. And like when I wear things that are clingy and you can already see my nipples. So it's just like, I just have to know. It's the same thing like when I post a slutty photo on Instagram and I have family and like pseudo parents that I know follow me that I just like, we've talked about this and it doesn't bother you as much, but I feel like my skin is going to fall off because I'm like, God, I wish they are not seeing this.
I don't know. When I post something, I'm not thinking about anyone's parents.
Well, yeah, it just gives me the ick. It just like makes me feel upset. So it's like when I'm like having Christmas dinner with them, they're just looking at him.
They're looking at him.
They're like, what's new with you? And you're like, I think you can see what's new with me with your eyes.
I have a question because someone posted about their pierced nipple. They have one pierce, only one. And she was talking about the reason why. And she goes, because I have options. This is...
let's get into it. I know what you're talking about, but explain further.
She's like, because if I'm like ever with a man or whatever, she's like, and they just want to taste metal. I don't think, should it taste like metal?
No, it's
like,
not going to taste like metal.
Kind of,
it's more of the clicking of the teeth and the sensation, but I would say go away if you don't want my pierced nipple in your mouth. And here's the thing. I also, as a warning, honestly, the fall is a good time to do it. So maybe we'll get a little pumpkin spice latte and then go get our nipples pierced because you're not supposed to be in water. So there's, for doing, summer activities.
That was the one thing I think was stopping me because I think once summer hit and I was like, ooh, pool.
Yeah. But
It's
then
not pool
also you're
culture.
not supposed to have them in anyone's mouth. And we all know that my dating life, tumbleweed right now. So I'm not worried about that. But like there's an amount of time where for infection, you can't have saliva on them. But yeah, so if she wants that and she's more comfortable, I really like the symmetry and like how it looks.
I think it would bother me to not have both done. I'd be like, this looks weird.
Well, also a great activity for fall is lasering. So maybe we'll do pumpkin spice latte, get lasered, get our nipples pierced. Another thing, it is the funniest thing you've ever seen. So you have to do salt soaks several times a day with like a lot of piercings. So what I would do was put it in a shot glass and you like go like this. And then you like lean back like that for like 10 minutes at a time, which was a pain. But also, this is dangerous. One time this happened to me. I was in bed at night and Leo was with me, RIP, my king. And I flipped on my back and I sleep in the buff. And I was just like asleep. And he walked up, and cats like things that are like metal or textured. And before I even had a chance, he fucking plucked it and pulled back and it was healing. And the scream I scrummed, let me tell you.
Bro.
So we have to, I don't think Gordo or Butters would do that, but Laszlo sure
No.
fucking would. She bites when I have 3D things in my nails. She tries to take my nails off. So
I think only cats and maybe like monkeys like shiny things.
He's trying to take it away for his collection, his lair. Like, okay, so I can't have my tits out around monkeys. If I'm around monkeys anytime soon, I should know that.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's in our future. I want to do it.
So no pool water, salt soaks, be good girl.
Be good girl.
And what else?
I don't know. I think that pretty much covers it. But then I was talking about my septum. We both had our septums pierced formerly. It's really polarizing piercing. So when I had it done, I had a very serious corporate job. So I had a little rose gold horseshoe and I'd flip it up. And at the time it was my old nose, but ugh, I don't know why I'd want to highlight that. And so now should I share that I have left my corporate job?
Yeah.
Just last week, I left my corporate job, which is scary for me, but exciting. And I just, it's ready and it's time. So in that vein, I just feel like I can do the things that I've never gotten to do. And I never got to have a
hoop?
Yeah, just like
A
a
hoop?
connected hoop. What is the horseshoe? The
It's a hoop.
infinity hoop. Yeah, in small
It's
infinity
just a hoop.
hoop, whatever. And I kind of want to do it, get it pierced and just leave the one in that's for healing and just leave it up there. The way that when you flip up your septum piercing, you cannot see it. It's the craziest thing.
I know.
But I think I want to do it.
Do
And
it.
Now
That
with my
was like
cute
the
new nose-
least painful piercing I did.
I remember not liking it, but it was nothing compared to
I
nipples.
was so surprised how that one I was preparing for it to hurt, but they pierce it through such like a fleshy area in your nose that you don't like. I remember my nose hurt more. The like actual nose hurt more because I had that one done when I was like, I don't know, 18.
How long did you keep that in for?
I probably took it out when I was like maybe 22. I don't know.
Did you have a stud or a hoop?
Both.
Do you know what I think is so crazy? When someone has their nostril pierced and their septum. I think that's...
Do you like when people have both sides of their, like both nostrils pierced?
I actually prefer one side for the nostril, but something I do love is when they have a double. So like a stud and a hoop.
Oh yeah.
I love...
like two in one side.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you know what I really don't like? And I'm sorry if you have this. This is just my opinion, but I've been seeing it a lot and I don't understand it. When people have both sides of their nose pierced and they have that chain that goes across their nose, I'm like, I'm sorry, that is ugly. It's ugly. And I don't care how valid your fucking face card is. It ain't gonna look good on anybody.
Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I saw a meme once that was when small sunglasses came back and they're like, you guys, I feel like we're all gonna regret this. And it's so true. And I feel like that would fall in that category.
Yeah, I wish I could be one of those girls that did like the hoop with the chain to the ear. That shit's hot.
I'm the clumsiest person alive. That would my lobe would rip in 24 hours. But
Yeah,
it's very hot.
One of them's gonna rip.
Yeah.
But like you just have to be someone that just does nothing, which I could easily slide right into that life.
Well, okay, so I've been on this no corporate job journey. I went to a matinee yesterday. It's like there are scary things about it, but the benefits and like trying to lean in, and I'm obviously privileged and we do this show, but my God, I fucking love having my days to do stuff.
I love that you have your days to do stuff because that's sort of like what I mean. Like, yeah, okay, we we record podcasts. I've got the sandwich shop, but I mean, like, I get to like sort of manage and like schedule my days and times however I want. It's just like sometimes I get a little lonely.
Well, no, so many more hot girl walks during the week are going to happen. And also, if you're listening to this and you hate your job, don't hate me.
Quit.
But no,
Just
like,
quit your job.
no, and trust me, I've had every kind of job and
Get your nipples pierced. Quit your job.
leave your family, start a new life,
Yeah.
dye your hair, cut it off, start again. I've also planned several more tattoos because of this. And I'm like, I'm really just leaning. You guys also, I know I haven't said it in a while.
She's not having a midlife crisis.
Not at all. We're on a rock floating through space. It's on fire. We're all going to die soon.
It's a fuck it list.
It's the fuck it list. And it's just life is short. And I want to live.
Yeah, I want to do all the things that I think I want to do and do some things that I don't think I want to do some things I probably shouldn't do.
Well, emphasis on that. The thing is, I've also, besides the year I did the show, I've been in the corporate world. I was fresh out of college since I was 22. And so it's just like, I've done 12 years of this shit. I just need to take time and figure out what it is that I want to do. And again, that is scary. But part of this podcast is like wanting to do it in terms of being able to reinvent yourself at any age. And it is a risk and it is scary, particularly from the childhood that I had where there were no traditional jobs. And it has afforded me security and safety and all those things. But it's just time to evaluate what I want to do.
You're not going to like regret it. I think like the rocking chair theory, when you're sitting in your rocking chair and you're going to think back about the things that you wish you would have done or didn't like it. I think the more things that you can try and less regrets you can have and the risks you can take, especially on yourself, the better. And you're not going to know unless you actually do it. You can think, you can hypothesize all you want, but until you actually are just like, fuck it and do it, you kind of have to.
Well, sometimes also faith, I feel like the universe opens things up for you when you take the next step, when you can't see the staircase. And I know that sounds corny, but like, it just feels really, really exciting of like what possibilities are there for me, because I've never tried because I've been so scared. And I think for people who will understand this, who have corporate jobs, once you leave your corporate job, if there's a gap in your resume or a certain amount of time that you're out of work, you can end up in, lose the like seniority and the experience you have. You end up lower down the ladder than you would have. But like, also I've just had to be very resourceful in my life based on what I've been through. And so I know I just always figure it out. So like worst case, if I end up in a corporate job in a couple of years, that's fine.
Or there's also like more to life than corporate job.
I know this is mostly rooted in trauma from my childhood and like fear, but also, do I want fear to rule my life or do I want nipple piercings to rule my life? Probably the nipple piercings. I feel good about that.
I mean, I think just exploring every area of interest that you have that you could generate income and job from is what you should do. I mean, like, you could make soap.
Okay.
You could
soap. Should we make disrespectfully soap that says wash your asshole?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Merch idea.
Asshole soap. We should just, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, there's like so many ways that I think you could get creative with your life that can be more, I think there's plenty of things that are like way more fulfilling than just having that corporate job, that 9 to 5, that I feel like that's safe. And that is like kind of what, we were programmed to believe for so long. And I think when you're in that, you're like, this is comfortable and this makes me feel safe. But I think there's a big, big world.
And also, I feel wary of saying this because obviously I didn't die or get very sick, but COVID was a traumatizing time because I ended up unemployed for the first time in my life during that time. And like, I was doing stand up before that and I was loving it and I was getting better and I was getting booked on shows, and I stopped doing stand up because of COVID. And then I just like, I have bad anxiety. My fears got the best of me and I just quit. I like couldn't do it, could not bring myself to go back and do it. It would kind of be like starting over. I'm not saying that's why I left my job, but even things like that, like I there was so much about that I loved, and particularly writing and comedy writing. And like,
I really think you should do more of that.
I know. I keep saying it, but there's really no reason to not be doing it.
But I think when there's not like pressure to make it like your like main like thing, it's just like, it's something that you can just really enjoy and have fun with, then the pressure's off.
Well, and like right now, I feel like I got left behind because so after COVID, there were other comedians that were like in my circle and whatever that are like doing big things and whatever. And so now it feels like a past thing. But I guess I should probably walk the walk of us telling people to go live their dreams and shake it up and do anything at any age. But there's a level of that I was like 29, 30 when I was doing that. Now.
So what?
I know.
I don't think you don't become unfunny and untalented at a certain age. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't like there's no rule there.
The Benjamin Button of humor.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's not just because the people that you were rolling around with, like back then, are doing things. That doesn't mean you can't still do something. I don't know. I don't think there's a rule there.
Well, in short, you guys live your life. Do what you can while you can. Get your nipples pierced, like we said. That is what we're prescribing you, as disrespectfully doctors.
Would you get anything else pierced?
No. Would you? There's nothing besides septum. Oh,
I know.
Well, the one piercing I want so bad, which I do agree, you're probably right, because I always put it on fake. What is it called? It's through the middle of your lip, through your lip.
Well, I mean, there's a lip piercing, but then there's the Ashley that is like
reverse.
It just goes inside, but it's like there's like a little like stud or diamond that you can get that's on your lip. I think it looks so great, but I just think
that one that you want me to get, I'm worried about teeth, but I also understand your concerns because also with the lip piercing, when you take it out, you will have
have a whole. But I also think that
life.
Like you just for every day. I don't know that you want it every day.
Honestly, I'm freaky, and I'm just like coming out of this corporate experience and just wanting to do all the things I wanted to do. But I do agree with you. This piercing to me is so sexy and so cool. If you have that, I admire you.
I know. I just feel like
it's body modification. There's anything else you would get pierced?
No, I mean, sometimes I'm just like, oh, I should pierce my eyebrow.
I thought, no, I love an eyebrow piercing. My friend Randy had an eyebrow piercing.
Besides like the nose, like face piercings, like lip and like even eyebrow, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Because like you're just like, now it's like, I know the nose is one, but like, I don't know. When it's on like your face, when it's on your lip, now it's become part of like, when you're doing your makeup every day. I don't know.
One of the tattoos I was going to get was on my sternum, like between my tits, but south on my tummy. Raleigh has talked me out of it. And I'm like, in 50 years or 20 years, I know you could die tomorrow, but like, I kind of agree with her. I think I'm going to put it on my mid back. And yeah, she was like, no, just keep this real estate. I used to call a décolletage a delicatessen, which is where you get a sandwich. I said that to someone out loud once, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You talking about salami? No, this is your décolletage." But anyway, so like keeping, I'd say from here to here, relatively.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's like the temptation to just like get bold with it is like there because you're like, I can do it.
Am I having a midlife crisis? I don't know, because I don't feel like I'm in crisis. I feel like I'm the happiest I've ever been and like really frisky about life right now. But yeah, I have been smothered by the man for 12 years.
Yeah, but I just think the septum you can do, and the septum is just not as like, unless you get like a big old like fucking
and having a new nose that I do want to draw attention to now.
Yeah, but I don't know, for some reason
I'd want a really tight one, just a tight gold.
Yeah, when I had like a little like rose gold hoop, it was like it didn't jump out at you. It was just like kind of like a barely there sort of thing, and I really liked it. But I don't know.
Well, also a lot of men hate that piercing, so it's even more reason to get it.
Oh yeah, no, it was a man repeller for sure. But I was married, so it didn't matter.
Well, tumbleweeds. I don't really give a shit.
Or I was getting married. I don't know. I took it out and I put like a little horseshoe in there for my wedding. That's when I fell out.
Is that a sign? We just don't know.
But I wouldn't get like anything below the belt pierced. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. In college, I did want to get my clitor pierced. Mm-hmm. My friend did it. But then my other friend pointed out, because I was an idiot, because I was in college and college students are idiots, that it can fuck with your sensitivity. Like that's your bundle of nerves. You're like, why would you want to do? There's just no benefit.
Like imagine they just pierce just a little bit to the like a fraction of a millimeter off.
Well, and if it's a man doing it, you don't want to pierce your labia. No, I'm just kidding.
They won't be able to find it.
I was in the room with my friend who we were going to call M, because I don't want to put her on blast if she still has it or people who know us back home. But my friend M got it done. The like shivers that shot down my spine when it happened was like, yeah, never. Would you do it?
No. I just said I would never get anything below the belt pierce.
Sorry. Have you ever been with anyone that has had something below the belt pierced?
Yeah.
I have too. Okay. What was your experience with it?
I mean,
Did you did you, because they say like, well, with men specifically, I think it's different with women, that it's supposed to like increase your pleasure because like where, like if it's like Prince Albert where it hits with your G-spot and whatever. But like that was not my experience. I don't think it like really didn't bother me. I mean, the man, it's only been one person. It was a guy, tiny little man, would not expect the hog that was on him. But let me tell you, large and charged Prince Albert. And I could feel it, but it didn't like, it wasn't like a vibrator. It didn't like really do anything. And then it was just like clacking around when other things were happening. So I was like
clacking around. Did you chip a molar?
I almost chipped a molar. Yeah, it didn't really do anything for me, but it was fine. Did you think it was just like whatever?
Yeah.
Also, imagine how bad that would hurt for a man. Like, I think a man is brave to do that too.
Yeah.
That's a much thicker, meatier piece of appendage.
Meteor.
It was a nice meaty. Did you ever see someone did a thing? I don't know if this was on TikTok or Instagram, but she was like pretending to be herself and God. And she was like, you know, we love the dinosaurs. We should make them meteor. And God was like, okay. And then they all die. And she's like, meteor, like thicker. And he was like, oh. And she was like, meteor. And started crying.
That's funny.
Anyway, I'm 5, but it was like the funniest video I've ever seen.
I like that. Hey, Disrespectfully listeners, we're excited to tell you about a game-changing hair care line that's been making waves. Lolavie, founded by none other than Jennifer Aniston herself.
You know, I was just thinking about Jen Aniston in the shower last night when I was using Lolavie, and the shampoo, the way it suds up, I just can't get enough of it.
Think about Jen Aniston in the shower.
Yeah, I usually do. If you've ever felt like your hair could be doing more, the secret might be right under your nose, or more specifically on your scalp. And honestly, in my hair regrowth journey, I've learned about how important it is to keep your scalp healthy, which should sound
I feel
simple.
like I've been telling you about this.
I didn't know. Healthy, gorgeous hair starts with a clean, nourished scalp, which I was missing. And that's exactly what Lolavie's newest product, the Exfoliate and Detox Scalp Shampoo, is all about.
This isn't just any shampoo. It's a 2-in-1 miracle worker. It's a scalp scrub and clarifying shampoo all in one, packed with activated charcoal powder, bamboo extract, and gentle AHAs. It gets rid of all the gunk that's been weighing down your hair, leaving your scalp feeling clean and refreshed.
And let's talk about those soothing ingredients. Vegetable ceramides and B vitamins work wonders on irritation and flaking. Plus, with alfalfa sprouts and pea peptides, you're looking at thicker, fuller hair in no time.
This is what the doctor ordered.
See, I'm going to come back next week and it's my turn.
What I love most about Lolavie is their attention to detail. Their B Pro 3 bond technology really sets them apart, protecting your hair from damage while nourishing it from the inside out. It's perfect for all hair types, especially if you're dealing with a dry, itchy scalp, which I'm no stranger to. Yeah.
Add it to the list. You know, we love a little treat. So here's a little treat for our listeners. Right now, you can get 15% off your entire order at lolavie.com. Just use code disrespectfully at checkout. After all, if you're going to trust anyone with your hair, it might as well be the queen of iconic haircuts herself, Jen Aniston.
Personally, I have really been loving the Exfoliate and Detox Scalp Shampoo. I use a lot of product on my hair, a lot of styling products, so I get that build up and I just gotta like get rid of it. My scalp feels so much healthier and my hair has never had more volume. Never been more luxurious. The scent is amazing too, a perfect blend of herbal, citrus, and woodsy notes that makes you feel like you're at a spa.
Yeah, well, those buns didn't happen by accident. Those are Lolavie back buns.
None of this happened by accident.
Oh, also, don't forget to use the precision nozzle. It's so easy to section your hair and apply the shampoo right where you need it, which why didn't we think of this? It is genius. It lathers up beautifully and leaves your hair feeling so soft and clean and ready for anything.
For the ultimate Sunday reset, follow up with Lolavie's intensive repair treatment. It's a spa-like experience you can enjoy right at home.
I truly can't. The nozzle is just like so smart.
Well,
like
I
my
mean,
fingers, you have to get in there and it's hard sometimes. You got to scrub back on the crown.
There.
So
and when
smart.
you have like really thick hair like me, you cannot penetrate this mop. You got, so you got to get that nozzle in there so you can get right to the scalp.
Right to the root of the problem. Check out all of Lolavie's products at your local Ulta Beauty or head straight to their website at lolavie.com. Remember, our loyal listeners get an exclusive 15% off with the code disrespectfully at checkout. That's LOLAVIE.com with promo code disrespectfully. Don't forget to tell them we sent you. Your hair will thank you.
You know, I found out something that's pretty wild.
Tell me immediately.
Okay, well,
I knew you had something wild to tell me.
There's this one phase of sleep that almost everyone misses out on.
Which is all of them for
well,
us?
for us, it's all of them.
For us, it's all of them. Tell me about other
but
people. But
it's actually the most important one.
Which one is it?
And it's called deep sleep. Never met her, obviously. And it's responsible for so much. It's responsible for your body's daily repair, controlling hunger, weight loss hormones, boosting energy. I mean, the list goes on.
Deep sleep. It's so simple. Why didn't we know? And the thing is, you don't get enough deep sleep. It's no wonder you're struggling with cravings, a slower metabolism, premature aging.
Shop. Don't say it.
Premature aging, everything that you and I personally don't like. Not to mention how it can impact your overall health, that thing too.
Exactly. And I used to wonder why I wasn't getting enough of that crucial deep sleep. Turns out a big reason is magnesium deficiency.
Tell me more.
Apparently over 80% of people are deficient in magnesium, which is so crazy to think about.
You know, in passing, I heard a friend talking about magnesium not that long ago, and I didn't even think about it.
Which is crazy because I love magnesium, so how can I be deficient in it? But apparently I am.
I heard magnesium boosts GABA, which is super important because it encourages relaxation at the cellular level. Even my cells are stressed out. I know that. And I can just see them with their like little cups of coffee. And that's a huge deal when it comes to sleep.
Totally. Magnesium also helps regulate your body's stress response system. Hello, most stressed out person in the world. So if you're deficient, your stress levels might be higher than they should be. And we all know how stress can mess with your sleep.
But here's the thing. Before you go run out and grab any magnesium supplement because the bottle's pretty or someone's telling you should know that most of them only have 1 to 2 forms of magnesium. But our bodies actually need all 7 to get the full benefit.
See, that's what my problem was. I was taking a different kind of magnesium.
The 1 to 2 kind.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm all about Magnesium Breakthrough. It's the only supplement I've found that actually has all 7 forms of magnesium. And it's really made a difference for me. I'm sleeping deeper and I wake up feeling refreshed and not groggy.
I mean, that's the story your buns are telling me. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. If you want to try it out, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Just go to BiOptimizers.com/disrespectfully and use code disrespectfully at checkout to save 10%. And if you subscribe, you'll not only get a great discount and free gifts, but you'll also ensure you never run out. Should we do the basement?
Let's do the basement.
You go first because I did Daddy List first.
I have 2 basements. Do you like that?
I love that.
Okay. My first one is this is a bit of a gripe I'm having with Amazon right now because I don't understand it. Like I will order like bullshit on Amazon and it shows up like the next day. I'm like, cool, like this, it didn't need this like tomorrow, but like thanks for coming. Sure. And then there'll be something that I really need and it'll be like Prime the next day, great. And then it's like, oh, your package is running late. I'm like, that's fine. Okay. I can wait an extra day. Like this champagne problems, right? And then it's like the next day and it's like your package is like still running late. And then it's like, but it says it's, out for delivery. I look at the updates and then it's like your package may be lost. I'm like, well, it still says it's out for delivery. Like, can I get a tracking number on this shit? Like, where is it? I don't know. I just like, I don't understand. And then like sometimes where it'll come like through the mail and then it's like some person in a vest sometimes. Like, I don't know, like just someone in a car in like a Civic. I don't understand it. And I'm not knocking people that like drive for Amazon, but I don't understand like when it comes from like the regular mail or from like an Amazon van truck or when it's somebody at 5 a.m. trying to buzz them. Like they're like, we have trouble delivering here sometimes. I'm like, well, who's delivering?
Yeah. I mean, they like to keep you guessing. I agree with that. It's like someone with a million disguises. I'm like, well, who are you?
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know why I can't. It's like why there's not just like a source and why because I tried to order more box tape, like packaging tape.
Which
so
you
I kind
need in a
of
timely...
need. And the thing is like I can just go get it, but I'm also just like I'll just order that on Amazon, and then by the time we're run out of this, it'll be here. And now my timing's off, so now I'm like, well, I'll just drive my ass to like Target or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I was trying to just be efficient with my time and not having to like make an extra trip, so I can just like stay packing.
Yeah.
Anyway, basement.
And
the other one is chapped lips.
Oh,
fucking hate chapped lips.
Do people just not, first of all, do they not know they have it? But second of all, isn't it uncomfortable for like physically?
Well, when I have it, I mean, like when my lips are dry or chapped, it's so uncomfortable.
You gotta exfoliate and like get it aquifered.
Well, especially when you don't have like a like a Aquaphor or some kind of like chappy on you, and you just stay licking because it's.
Did you ever use bag balm? It's like in a green
that's
tin.
a vintage.
My mom used to fucking smear that everywhere on like when you had it's like the Windex from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. She'd just be like, put some bag balm on it, smear it on us. But like, I remember bag balm being really good.
But truly, there's nothing more uncomfortable. Like my lips are just like slightly dry right now, and I don't know why. It's just like there's no rhyme or reason. Like I've been drinking lots of water, I'm staying hydrated, but like it's just like going through a dry period of like my lips just like not feeling like quenched, and it's driving me fucking nuts.
Someone tries to kiss you with those things, and it's just like sandpaper.
Well, they're not like crusty, but they're just
you know yours aren't, but
you know the feeling when you're just like, I just don't feel like hydrated right now, and it's driving me crazy because there's like almost like not a burning sensation, but you know when they just feel like
it's very uncomfortable.
It's just uncomfortable. But when you look at someone with like crusty lips, you're just like, you want to put some Aquaphor and something on there.
I slather different things on, but I'm addicted to Burt's Bees. I have been for years. The first time I went abroad, I was going to Amsterdam. I was alone on a plane, so I didn't have a friend I could lean over and be like, can I have chapstick? Right as we were about to take off, I'm like going through my purse. I somehow did not have any Burt's Bees, so I was on an 11-hour flight, lickety split, let me tell you. And the first thing I did was jog in the airport to the nearest thing, and they had the worst, like, it felt wet but not moisturizing chapstick, like that kind. It's horrible.
I used to have a really bad addiction to chapstick, like really bad. Like I would freak out. Like when I was in school, and I would have to call my mom and ask her to come bring me chapstick because I was freaking out.
Oh yeah, I have it in every crevasse of my life. There's a Burt's Bees everywhere, just in case.
I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes I don't think about it now. Like I'll be fine. My lips don't feel dry or cracky or anything like that, and I don't need to apply it nonstop.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really see. I mean, you're doing your like gloss and your lip liner and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know. Right now, I'm just a little PO'd. Chapped lips.
Basement. Agreed.
What's in your basement?
Have you seen the scam going around LA? The fake QR codes on the back of parking meters, claiming to be like, scan this and you can pay for your meter really quickly. Here's the thing. You know how you hear scams sometimes and you're like, how did that person fall for that? I would do that in a heartbeat. So also just PSA, if you're out there, be very careful with doing QR codes. But this is kind of a twofold because we talked about that other scam where people are mailing stuff. We need to have better technology because again, you could be at a restaurant, someone could just slap it on a table that you can scan a QR code and it downloads malware to your phone and then it steals all your shit. So that's very basic behavior, the people that are doing it, and we need to figure out a better system for QR codes.
Maybe just like no more QR codes. Do we need that?
Yeah, we can get rid of that, I would say.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Big size candy at movies. Here's my thing. I get that the goal is probably to share them, but like I go to movies alone. I don't want a whole bag, but I need a little sweet treat. I can't see a movie with nothing in my hand. It's so wasteful. I hate wasting food. So I need individual, it's kind of discriminating against single people. So I'd like a section of single people candy that looks like a 7-Eleven. That's what I want. And also AMC, we know I'm an A-lister, but petition to get Butterfingers in that bitch and like Snickers. They have like, I don't like love their selection.
Yeah. They also, when they have like the healthy stuff, we don't want skinny dipped almonds. Thanks, but
we're at the movies. I'm getting a glizzy, pretzel bites.
Yeah.
And sweet tart ropes.
I want a hot dog and I want like some like Reese's cups.
Enough pop for a family of 4. I got an icy the other day, which I hadn't had in forever, and not the same as 7-Eleven slushies. Maybe they say it's the same thing. That one was funky. I got blue flavor, and I was like,
cherry.
Yeah,
cherry.
I didn't like it, but I had a wild
But yeah,
hair.
no, they really should just have like a section where it's just like, and if you don't want the, share with the entire theater size, have just, the normal kind that you could,
exactly,
just the regular serving size.
Yeah, not to beat a dead Snickers, but the other one is a scary creep I encountered yesterday. I was leaving my Botox appointment, and so Ventura is a really busy street here in the valley. And my car was across the street. So I was waiting at push the button and waiting for the crosswalk. And this guy, I clock him clocking me, and he stops right in front of the crosswalk. And it was really busy. And I don't care, as they say on My Favorite Murder, fuck politeness, always trust your intuition. It gave me the most like in my spine. I felt it. And he was just the way he was looking at me. And I was like, nope, not doing this. So I turned because my car was a little down the street and I was just going to do like a Frogger moment. And I looked back over my shoulder and he flipped the quickest bitch. and started driving so fast at me that I ran into.
So he's in his car?
He's in his car. I ran into the Doc Marten store right there. And he stopped his car right outside the Doc Marten store. And I walked in and the girl could see that I was frazzled. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry. This guy is I just wanted to get in somewhere because I wasn't going to make it to my car and I didn't want to risk it. And she was, women just fucking support each other because we all know how scary the world is. She was so nice. She like looked, he pulled forward a few spots and he was waiting in there. So we were just both waiting. And then he finally drove away. So again, maybe I was just being Dateline and hyper paranoid, but I'm telling you, something was up with that and it just did not feel right. And I'm very glad that I just went into that store instead of trying to make it to my car. Then the lady was so nice. She watched me run to my car. I didn't ask her to, but I was like, thanks so much. Like, have a good day. Ran to my car and I looked back because I knew she'd be in the window and I looked back in the window and we waved at each other. So she is daddy list. And
so this was like in the middle of the day?
Middle of the day.
What was he doing?
3 p.m. I don't know, but I am telling you, I heard why I looked over my shoulder, I heard his tire. That's how fast he flipped around. Like the
fuck.
So, and I'm not one of those, bitches on TikTok that are convinced they're getting human trafficked at Target. Like that's not happening. But it was really icky. So not that it matters because it shouldn't, but I was wearing a crop top t-shirt and leggings, like really cropped. And the way he was looking at me, I was all of a sudden acutely aware of that I like wanted to go like this, like when I was waiting at the crosswalk. Like I just knew. So unless you guys, if you love me, are probably glad too that it happened. But if I annoy you, then maybe, yeah.
I just want to know like what his plan was.
It was so weird. I was in that store for 5 minutes and I was like all of a sudden scared that he was going to come in there too. And like that they were going to have a problem. And I don't know. It was weird. So
like how, like he saw you come out and then he just like, so you came out of the med place.
So I was walking down the block already. So he was, this happened a few blocks away because I parked pretty far.
Yeah.
So I was walking. So he saw me as I was going to the crosswalk and then he just pulled over and stopped right at the front of the crosswalk. And I like, and who knows, maybe he was just pulling over. But then when I was like, I think he clocked me, clock him when the like traffic was busy. Okay. I was like, good opportunity. I'm just going to walk in the other direction. And then I walked in the other direction and then I heard his tires and he flipped around and I was like, fuck that. And I like sprinted into and luckily I love Doc Martens. I just bought some new ones, but I was like, whatever store is closest to me, I'm running in it. And it just happened to be that store. And then right as I got in, he pulled and went just a little bit past and stayed there for an entire 5 minutes that I was in there. So could have been a coincidence, but it didn't feel that way.
No.
So anyway, ladies, gentlemen too, but ladies were obviously way more susceptible to being attacked just going about our life. So be careful out there. But anyway, basement for that man.
Stay vigilant.
Loser.
Jesus.
Anyway, now that we're all perked up. That was a fun episode.
That was great.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.